Hey everybody, this is Joed Lopez with a brief overview, or rather a first impressions review of HiBox. HiBox is a task management business chat online software that is supposedly trusted by over 10,000 companies. It has emphasis on task and project management and also chatting. Although it does have video conferencing, the thing that took me um, more that was more of interest to me was the chat and the task management. But let's take a look at the other services. You have your own personal AI assistant. They have a bot, as you may or may not know. Artificial intelligence is starting to merge with various like microservices, and they're starting to take over a little bit. So um, this AI integration is pretty powerful. It's something similar to what Slack does, although Slack tends to be like a chatting work chat service first and foremost, but has incredible integration with the tools. This is pretty much similar to that, except it tries to keep these other integrations as equal citizens. So what I mean by that is, like Slack, it's pretty much the chat is the first and is like the red carpet treatment. It's the main feature, the main service, and other things are other integrations are third party or just afterthoughts. Not I shouldn't say afterthoughts, but it's just not the main service, and it does that service incredibly well. HiBox tends to try to spread it around with the chat service, the video conferencing, and the project management. Um, there's other services like that do this. Service called Teambox, which is now called Red Booth, which was recently bought out, or they're doing an acquisition. I forget. They have this integrated as well. But what I liked the interface on HiBox just a tad bit more, and I also liked they kept things simple with task and project management. Um, Again, I haven't taken a look at Redbox in a long time, so I don't want to make an unfair comparison because user interfaces change a bunch. But there's something in HiBox that really I was able to appreciate a little bit more from what I recall. So when you go into the service, you're greeted by like a public stream. This is pretty much like your news feed on Facebook, and the team everyone kind of can add to this public stream. The task here again, something about this layout, the color choices, and the way they spread out this layout. I don't know. I really like it a lot. The trouble with other services sometimes is when they're trying to be really great at one thing, like say for example Asana, um, it gets kind of overwhelming, and it may or may not be you know, uh, obvious for someone who might be new to the service to really adopt it. And as you know, with anyone who rolls out these kind of services to a team, you always have that one person's like, "Oh, I'm so in love with this new software. It can solve X, Y, and Z." But then like other people in the team, people have their own solutions, or people who may be, not as tech savvy, they just kind of don't buy into it. I think this might have a little maybe a little easier to buy into and implement than others for the simple reason that the left bar here has tasks, files, and then streams where you create your own stream. And I think that just on the left hand right here could be really powerful for someone of any background to kind of just jump in and start using it. Whereas Asana, you might have to jump around a little bit. You have to buy into what their methodology, which can sometimes be a learning curve that might be too steep for someone, or they might be so busy they don't want to bother with the learning curve and just stick to their own system. Not to say that it was hard or it wasn't better. It's just that decision fatigue creeps in, and you don't feel like learning something new and figuring something new out. So this is where I think instantly that could put anyone in the office. I'm actually contracted out with a community college department, and I'm considering making this as a recommendation for everyone because you can just jump in with the tasks, the files, and then my favorite part, the chat. This is huge. Look how look at this. These are your private messages, right? So that small touch right there can go a long way for someone who's not really used to using a service like this. Like we have to remember, like a large portion, like services like this, the reason why they're taking off and there's so many variations is because the market for these services are so huge. And even with the competition out there and all the different like hip chat and all these different chat productivity systems that some have a little bit of this while the other one doesn't, and they have some overlap, and then they might be all the same, that there's still millions and millions of people who are still relying on email only, phone calls only, and then maybe out of that they're just they're getting comfortable with the world of like Google Hangouts and Google Chat, some type of chat system to really do those micro communications. Like the vast majority of people are still behind the times, or they use like some overly simplistic like task manager system, where it's like pure, like with a default that comes with their phone, the task manager, or the default that comes with their company or institution where they work. So things like this are just so like for someone who's not interested, or someone who doesn't know about this world of productivity solutions, this can be light years for them. But when you have a service like this that actually goes, look how big the font is. That's the thing with Asana. Asana has the UI where it's nice and tight and compact, whereas this seems to spread things out. I love the color pops on this, the deep like stone blue or gray background, and then the orange and the light blue, and then look at this bell here. And then for the tutorial, you really see these things that kind of just give you a great overview of the service, and then look at this. Another one pops up when you're done with that. Like this type of overview can really go a long way. And now mostly all the services are starting to use this to kind of like ease you in, but it's still not like across the board, which personally I think this type of like onboarding to use a system should be across the board used by anyone who's trying to roll out productivity system. There's another red dot right here. What's new for updates? And yeah, invite new users, create a stream. Here's a task. Files. I can upload a file, nice big and blue of green right here. I still got look at this. I still got my chat window up. This pretty much looks like, Hangouts interface with the style. And I can add stuff right here too. I can add an image, thumbs up like Facebook. I got the streams in place. I want to create a stream just for one. I'm going to create a stream. This is for a sub project that we're working on. Visible to all users, or make it private. I think if I make it private, that's probably like part of the premium version. Let's see. Okay, good, cool. Create and enter someone that you want to be part of this. Okay, cool. So this is a stream menu. Okay, got it. Now let's start chatting. Let's attach some more. So again, the walkthrough. Wow, look at that. I can create tasks while keeping track. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. So I said, send reminder emails in the chat. It automatically becomes a task. Now, if I go to my task here, send reminder emails comes up. How? I think there's like a missing element with a lot of productivity systems, the interoperability of it. I know Asana has things like this that's similar, but you know how fluid your workflow can be when you take things from chat and other ways to do a task. Like, how many times we're in a meeting or you get a reminder, oh, can you do this for me? And I can just do /task and make phone calls to clients. Boom, it automatically pops it up. Like, how many times do we do that when we're talking to people? Oh, I forgot, we got to do this, and these small things. So that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. So that's just a quick review. And another thing too, with this is, again, it does make things cleaner and simpler. A lot of project management software like Trello or with Asana, they're so great at what they do that it becomes like overwhelming a little bit. So this is like kind of just keep it simple, man. Not everyone's like, here's the thing. When you have a task, it could be a standalone task or be part of a greater project. And I think Asana is a project manager that can also be a to-do list manager. Whereas this can be a to-do list manager, and while it probably has a capacity to scale up to a project management system, it starts with a task management system first, then you can go more complicated, which is just a small, like a nuance thing, but I think it goes a long way. That's it. I just want to do a quick, I'm really liking this personal task. I'll start adding it. Wonder if I can do @ and do something with, look at that, @ somebody. Boom. Follow up for new dates for training 2. And then boom, she's triggered on this. That's pretty dope. So I don't know. If you're part of a small team that have unlimited users, they don't save the chat history. They only save the recent chat history. So I don't know how far back. So if there's anything critical that you want to keep account of, keep it in email. But if it's just, minor things and operational things that are just routine, you can do the chat. And I would totally recommend this for small teams. Small teams who don't want to go too crazy. They want to do their own project management system themselves, but they do want to maintain small tasks and maybe mid-sized level small projects here. Because when it comes to big projects, everyone has their own system and they may or may not want to use this. But this, I think, is accessible to anyone at any level. So yeah, check it out. Hope this helps. And, let me know if you end up using it or liking it and take from there. Hope you have a great day and enjoy exploring your productivity potential. Peace.